Cellular respiration. Very similar to photosynthesis. They go together, but they're also different. So, cellular respiration, it's a chemical reaction, it's like photosynthesis. But if this time we're changing glucose from that photosynthesis into energy that is called ATP. I'll explain more about ATP in a second. This takes place in organelles that are called mitochondria. And a picture of a cell like this one, these orange guys here, those are mitochondria. They look like an oval with squiggles inside. Mitochondria are found even in plants. So animals have them, humans have them, obviously. Fungi have them, and plants have them too. So plants get to do both photosynthesis and cellular respiration. So here's a picture of a plant cell. The green ones are the chloroplasts. These little orange guys are your mitochondria. They get to do both. They don't even need us. They can do both of them. The main goal of doing cellular respiration is to make this stuff. It's called ATP. You can write down its full name if you want. I don't mind either way. As long as you don't remember the ATP stands for something, it's an abbreviation. It stands for adenosine triphosphate. That's the energy molecule. It looks like this in molecule form. Usually in pictures, you'll see it like a sunburst, like ATP. It is how the cell moves energy. So if your cell wants to move something, it uses ATP energy. If your cell wants to make something pull apart or come together, that's ATP energy. Anytime anything in your body does anything that needs energy, ATP is the one that does it. So that's the whole point of doing cell respiration, is to make ATP. There are two kinds of respiration. There's aerobic and there's anaerobic. Anaerobic means it does not require oxygen to happen. It still makes ATP at the end. Aerobic means it does require oxygen at the end. They both still make ATP, but aerobic makes way more ATP because oxygen helps out a lot. You do both of these. Obviously, aerobic is better because it makes way more ATP, but you can do both. There are some, like bacteria, that only do one or the other, but most organisms can do both. Here's the chemical reaction. We have glucose plus oxygen makes carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. In this case, I can write ATP in the reaction because it is a molecule, whereas when we did light and photosynthesis, you could, or some people would get upset sometimes because light's not a molecule. The same idea as when you saw photosynthesis. The things before the arrow are going in, the things after the arrow are coming out. This might look very familiar to you. You may be thinking, I wrote this before. Yeah, you did. It's the same thing as photosynthesis, just backward. Take out ATP and put in light. It's the exact same reaction. So cell respiration is glucose plus oxygen, makes carbon dioxide, water, ATP. Photosynthesis was carbon dioxide, water, and light, makes glucose and oxygen. So if you can remember one, just flip the arrow the other way and switch out ATP and light, and you've got the other one. They're the same thing but backward. So let's compare the two of them. We have the purpose. What are we trying to do with both of these? In photosynthesis, we're trying to capture energy and put it into molecule form. In cell respiration, we're trying to release that energy so we can use it for other things. Photosynthesis happens in chloroplasts. Cell respiration happens in mitochondria. The reactants are what goes in. For photosynthesis, water and carbon dioxide come in, and oxygen and glucose come out. For cell respiration, oxygen and glucose go in, and water and carbon dioxide come out, plus energies. To end up here, here's a fun fact about your cells. Your cells, especially your muscle cells, have a small amount of ATP stored up inside of them, just in case you had to run for your life. If a T-Rex started attacking you and you had to run away. But would you have enough ATP to run a whole marathon? No. Your ATP will last you for a little bit. But You know this from gym class. If you keep on making your cells move for long periods of time, then you have to start breathing faster. Why? Because you need some of this stuff, oxygen, in order to make more ATP. So yes, you do have some ATP chilling in your cells, just in case, but it's not enough that you could go for a very long time. Let's make the secret word today ATP, since it's the new word. So to do a quick review, cell respiration, we're taking glucose and turning it into ATP. We are in organelles called mitochondria, which can even be found in plants. They get both. The point of it is to make ATP energy, which is how cells use their energy. We can do it with oxygen or without oxygen. The end's the same pretty much, but aerobic makes more oxygen, or makes more ATP, sorry. Here's the chemical reaction. It's the same as photosynthesis, but backward. If you can remember one, just flip the arrow around and you have the other one. You absolutely should know the difference. I guarantee I'm going to ask you questions, and I'm pretty sure the Keystone people are going to ask you questions about what's the difference between photosynthesis and cellular respiration. How do they go together? How are they the same? How are they different? They're real important. And this idea is going to come back in our Unit 3, which we're finally going to do because these are the last notes for Unit 2. We made it. Woo, that took a while. Let me know if you have any questions about any of these. We'll see you in Unit 3.